welcome to my corner.
Welcome to my corner. Let's have a talk now. From Miami to California. Check your girl out. I'm gonna give it to you straight up. That's right. That's right. Keeping it real, no games inside. Let's go. Welcome to my corner, y'all.
Welcome back to the corner. How your mama doing? How's everybody doing? Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so last week, I kind of talked about, like, I shook the table a little bit. I was talking about, like, men versus women, about the church and how, the church prepares women to be wives, but nobody's talking to the men. And you know what's crazy? The men agreed with me. That was the beautiful thing. The men was like, yeah, I don't know how to be a husband, and I would like to be prepared. And I'm like, sir, when you get prepared, come see me. Come see me, boo. Come see me. Anyways, so I was shocked that the men agreed with me. They were like, yeah, no, I agree with you, Candace. Like, it's a great video. Like, I was shocked. So, here I am to shake another table. Okay, so I kind of want to do this thing called church myths, because I think it's a lot of people like me who have questions, and there's no place for your questions, and that's why I created the corner. For me to talk and to show my truth, but also to come with my questions. Like, there was no safe space, so I created a safe space, and my safe space just happens to be on the internet for everybody else to see. Ain't that weird? Anyway, so y'all know I left the church maybe about a year and a half ago. I just got in church. I've been in church for about, faithfully, been in church for like 6 months. Yeah, wait, no. What month is this? October? 10 months. Round of applause, okay? So 10 months, and y'all know I left, and I was done. And the story is in my, it's one of my older videos. Y'all can go watch it. It needs some views. And so I came back, and I've been, in church, and it's been a journey, y'all. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Some days I think about quitting again. I really do. Then some days I'm like, girl, get your life. So I'm at this weird space, okay? Like, I'm not religious enough to sit with the religious. I'm not heathen enough to sit with the heathen. I'm like in the middle, you know what I'm saying? But then the Bible talks about being lukewarm, so, hey. So when I left the church, my journey was kind of like displayed because I was asking questions on Facebook. I didn't have the corner yet. So I was asking hard questions on Facebook, and people thought I was like on my way to hell because they was like, oh, she got one more status. She gonna be in hell. Oh, she lost her. Because here's the thing. Like, my whole life, I've been labeled as the good preacher's daughter. Like, I was the only preacher's daughter that wasn't busting it wide open in middle school. Like, I was literally like I was a good girl. Like, I was a good girl. I had questions. I was sneaky, but I was a good girl. I still am a good girl, like, be clear. And so, like, in college, I was the girl who I was like the president of the gospel choir. I was involved in every religious activity there was. I sang in a group. I was in church. Literally, most college students, like, don't get me wrong, freshman and sophomore year, I cut up, okay? I was at clubs. I was bending over, twerking somewhere. Like, I was living my best life. And then, like, I got into this group. I got saved. It was like, you have to let your actions match what you're doing. So then I was in church every weekend. Like, every day, every Friday, I was in church. Saturday, church. Sunday, church. Wednesday was rehearsal, or Thursday was rehearsal. So I always was in church. Like, so I was literally like a roadmap for what this thing we call Christianity. And so when I started asking questions, people thought I lost my salvation. And I was like, no, I didn't lose my salvation. I just have questions. And so one of my former bishops asked me a question, and it was so great that I've been meaning to make this video, but I just haven't had time. He asked me, why do you think millennials are leaving the church? And all I could do was say, oh, let's go. So let's do it. Okay, so why are millennials leaving the church? Why are they leaving? First things first, millennials aren't leaving the church. They leaving religion, y'all. They leaving the religious foolishness that y'all have masked and try to make it Christianity. They leaving that. They ain't here for that no more. Let's talk about it. First things first, legalism. We ain't got time for that. We do not have time for that. Legalism is the whole, like, you must wear skirts to practice holiness. Women don't preach. They sit and they teach evangelism. Legalism is the whole thing, like, you have to take 15 classes to figure out if you're anointed. Legalism, all these rules that God never meant to be, like, God used them as, like, guidance. They were tools of guidance. Y'all made them rules and then said this is what God said, but that was what Paul said. Paul gave these rules to help you govern yourselves. But if you don't need to go, it's a whole bunch of legalism in there that they're not here for, okay? So they're not here for the religious rules. So you gotta show them Jesus and leave the foolishness on the side. Because, you know, Jesus ain't with the foolishness. Like, Jesus don't care about your hair. He don't care. Jesus don't care if you got a hole in the skirt on. He don't care. He don't care. That's why they leaving. It's too many rules. And I think maybe if, like, we revamp, I just think the church needs to be revamped. I know I said it, but I feel like some churches need to be, not all churches, but some churches needs to be revamped. Old school versus new school. Another reason they're leaving the church is because there is no safe space. None. They have no place to go for their questions. So, and then like when they ask questions, y'all think they practicing witchcraft. Anytime anybody questions anything you believe, you think we come in the spirit of witchcraft. And it's like, no! I just want to know why we believe the way we do. I had questions, okay? I had questions, and y'all said, well, no, you don't ask those questions. It's just the way we've always done it. But who said the way we've always done it is the right way? Who said that? Like, Sway, show me biblically where this meant this. It didn't. You implied that. Like, I had questions about tithing, okay? I wanted to know why we tithe, okay? Because when he said bring all the tithes into the storehouse, he won't talking about money. Oops, my bad. I'm sorry. Next video. God wasn't talking about money. He was talking about crops. I'm sorry. We're going a little bit. And so y'all couldn't answer my question, so I just stopped tithing until I could figure out my own question. Next video. We're going to talk about it next video. So there needs to be a safe space for questions, and y'all don't want to answer our questions. Y'all just keep saying, we're going to come out, you're going to do this. It's like, we're going to come out of Egypt. And I'm like, okay, but how, Sway? We want to know how, when, where, why, what. And then it's like, you know what? Come to Jesus with your questions. So that's why they're like, I don't need to ask you no questions because you ain't got the answer, Sway. You ain't got the answer. So I'm going to just ask Jesus on my own time by myself. Can y'all give us a place to have some questions answered? Like, make it a safe space, please. Then also, like, politics. Y'all be blowing us when y'all just be like, we just need to pray. They keep killing us. We praying. They killed us. Say something. Do something. Even if it's just a place for us to cry, if you don't know what to say, ask someone. Like, y'all be talking about Black Lives Matter and how we shouldn't be doing this. But I'm like, nah, I be doggone. You lived through the civil rights era and you telling me that you want us to be quiet and just die? What? This is why they leaving. Y'all don't got the answers. Y'all don't know what side to pick on. And then y'all keep telling us to have faith, right? But you don't teach the work ethic. Just pray through it. Sow your $20 seeds and have faith that God is going to move. Hey, bro, her light's getting cut off and them $20 she needs. Teach integrity. Teach these different things. So I think maybe they're leaving because it's not them. It might be that y'all are out of touch. Have you ever thought of that? Millennials aren't coming to church not because there's no church building, but because maybe the church got out of touch. Maybe the church, it needs to revamp itself. But because that's the way y'all always done it, y'all say it's right. Who said it's right? I don't know. I'm just saying, I know y'all don't like what I'm saying, and I know you probably think I'm coming in the spirit of disobedience, but I'm just telling you why they're not coming. I'm just trying to let y'all know why so many people are no longer trying to be religious. They trying to do it. And I'm like, maybe if you just made it a little bit more like, I'm sorry. I know y'all don't like me, but it's okay. Like, I just want y'all to understand. Now, people are like, Candace, you was hurt, you was frustrated. No, I'm not. I'm not frustrated with the church anymore because I realized, you know what? As long as you're doing what God told you to do, you can't control anybody else. And you can't save the whole world. All you can do is create opportunities and be who you are. And so that's what I am. So no, I'm not frustrated. No, I'm not hurt. I'm just trying to tell y'all what it is. Because so many people are like, Candace, you have a voice. You have this. You have that. And what do you think? And I'm like, well, this is why. Okay? That's why they're leaving. This is why they don't want to sit in the pew. Now, it's not all churches, but some churches. You know, the other thing is, I think the big churches that we see on TV have corrupted all churches. Like, it's not all churches, it's some churches. And so the hard thing is weeding out which is what. That's the hard thing. Like, you got these big preachers on TV, and they talking about all these different things, and then you find out they stealing from their people, and you like, I'm not going to church. No, it's not all churches, just some. Not all churches have these problems, just some. Not all millennials are leaving the church, just some. And you guys are like freaking out, and I'm like, well, not all of us are leaving. Some of us are staying. Some of us are leaving and coming back. I'm just saying, if you want to know why they're not coming, that's why. That's all I got, bro. Okay, so we'll be back in the corner next week. Y'all know it's October. It's homecoming. It's homecoming. Yeah, it's. Okay, anyways, we'll be back in the corner. We're going to be talking about church myths. And then y'all know I'm going to go to homecoming, so we ain't going to have no video. But we'll talk about it later. All right. Have a